Okay, sorry about that. YouTube only allows me to record 10 minutes at a time, so this might take a few segments here. So where I left off is Barney Frank kind of like lost his mind when I said the word oligarchy, but Shane had said, and I was so angry at the time that I wasn't much paying attention to Frank's reaction because at this point he was starting to pretend to read a newspaper and not listen to me. And I tend to have a very short fuse when I'm being dismissed, and I'm not an ignorant person, and I'm always willing to hear someone out. But he told me I kept interrupting him, so he had no interest in what I wanted to say. And I said, "Sir, I hear what you say a lot. You get a lot of talk time. You have never heard me speak before in your life, and you represent me. So I would like for you to hear me out." And I said, "I've heard you before go on and on about gay rights. Well, you don't just support gays. My mom, a registered independent here in the house that I live in, got a letter from you because she's registered independent. But the rest of the family members didn't get a letter from you. It was addressed to her only." And he explained to me, "Oh, well, that's because I sent mailing out just to keep Democrats and independents updated on what I'm doing." You represent all of us. You represent the independents, the Democrats, the Republicans, the non-voters. You represent every American in the 4th District of Massachusetts. So I'm watching him just like read a newspaper now, and he's not even acknowledging me. I told him, I was like, "This is your problem. You're drunk with power." I said, "You don't even know what your job is anymore. You are using your position to push your agenda, and that is against the law. You are breaking the Constitution in doing that." And so he continued to read the newspaper, and I said, "I cannot believe you're acting this childish with me. I want you to hear me out. I have a right to my opinion, and I have a right for you to listen to my opinion." And he said, "Please leave. This conversation is over. Please leave." And I said, "I'm not leaving. I'm not going anywhere. I have every right to be in this office. I pay for this office. I own this office." I said, "I'm not going anywhere." And he said, "If you don't leave, I'm going to call the cops." And I said, "You're going to call the cops? Are you kidding me?" I was like, "What are they going to do? What are you going to do? I have every right to be here." He's like, "If you don't leave, I'm calling the cops." And I said, "Go ahead and call the cops. I'm not leaving. I need you to hear me out." And this is as verbal as I got with him. I'm being quiet in my house right now, but I definitely got louder. I wasn't screaming like a banshee. I have a very cool Irish whisper where I can boom without necessarily yelling. So I was pretty much raising my voice. I went on and I told him how drunk with power he is, and he has every right to his personal opinions, but his personal opinions have no place in our political system. I told him if he really wanted to fight for gay rights, he was more welcome to do so if he quit his job and joined some gay lobby firm, but not here. This is not the place. I don't want his personal business running our government. It's not how it was supposed to be. Our government is cut and dry. It's law. It's law. It's not feelings. It's not interpretation. It is law. So, he continues to pretend to read the newspaper. And as I got louder and I'm calling him drunk with power, and I told him if he doesn't hear me out, I will make it my mission in life to remove him from office, he then says, "That's it, I'm calling the police." So he picks up his phone and he dials. Now, in the movies, when you see someone say, "That's it, I'm, get me security," pick up the phone, "Get me security." No, he picks up the phone and he fumbles with the numbers. Doot, 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 doot. You see him and he sits there awkwardly with the phone to his ear. Do, 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 do. And he's like listening and like, like, and I look at Shane and I look around and I'm like, "Are you serious?" And he seriously sat there on the phone awkwardly for like 3 minutes. It was like a prolonged period of of like on the phone humming, nobody's answering the other side. He's and And so finally I was like, You gotta be kidding me, right? Why couldn't you just sit here and talk to me in this time that you're humming on the phone? So then finally somebody answers. He goes, yeah, get me the police in here. I need someone arrested. Thank you. And he hangs up. And I'm like, what? And I said, I can't believe you're doing this. You want me arrested? So, Capitol Police Officer comes into his office. Can I help you, sir? Yes, I would like this woman arrested, he said. Now, after this point, no, you know what? I'm just going to finish the story first. I look at the police officer who's now standing over my shoulder, and I look at Barney Frank, who, in case people are confused about what Congress does, what your representative does, what the Senate does, is they write laws. They interpret the Constitution, and what they're supposed to do is enforce the Constitution with new laws that uphold it, not change it, not twist it a little bit, but that's besides the point. My point is that your elected officials that are in the Congress and in Senate are supposed to know the law, and they write the law, so they should know it. So the Capitol Police Officer standing right here over my shoulder, this very foreboding tall man with a booming voice, and he said, ma'am, please get up. And I said, no, I have every right to be here. This is public property. My taxes pay for this building. Barney Frank is my representative. I am not breaking anyone's constitutional rights by talking to their representative. You're not seeing intimidation here. I am talking to Barney Frank, who is my representative. And he said, if you don't get up, I'm going to have to arrest you. And I said, why? Because Barney Frank told you to? And I looked at Barney Frank and I said, what law am I breaking? And he said, get her out of here. Get her out of here. And I said, what law am I breaking? He said, get her out of here. I don't want to speak to her anymore. Get her out of here. So then the police officer, again said, if you don't get up, I'm going to have to arrest you. And I said, I am not getting up. I said, I'm here talking to my representative. He invited me into the office, which he didn't even have to invite me, but he did. And I'm trying to have a conversation with him. If you're going to arrest anyone, arrest him for breaking the law, for breaking the Constitution. He's not doing his job. I would like him arrested. So then the police officer asks for my ID. I get him my ID, and he says, all right, let's go. So he takes me by my arm, and we're walking out. And as we walk out, I get to Barney Frank's door, Barney Frank says, good riddance, bigot, to me. So then, of course, I stop, and I stop the police officer, and I said, did you just say good riddance, bigot, to me? And Barney Frank said, that's exactly what you are. I was furious, and I'm about to run out of time on this segment right here, so I'm going to try to squeeze stuff in before it cuts me off, and then I'll start a new segment. But the police officer took me outside, and this is why I want to cut this in right now. Shane has a video at that point. It dawned on him, we need to start recording this. Angel and a police officer. This needs to be recorded. So Shane secretly, with his camera by his pocket, clicked record. And we have a video of what happened between myself and the police officer at that point. In the next segment, I would like to propose to you some questions to keep in mind when you watch this video of myself and the police officer. There are some things that people should be calling to mind if you consider yourself a constitutionalist. If you are an American, there are certain things as you watch this video I would like for you to ask yourself. And if people can answer, I welcome you to contact us. Contact me at Facebook, through Coat Rack. You can find me anywhere. I'll give my contact information at the end, but on Coat Rack you can find me. I'm linked through email anywhere. Contact me, find me, give me answers. So I'm going to start the next segment to tell you about what happened with the police officer at that point.